Every week, entrepreneurs try to get millions of dollars by sharing their products and packaging like this, this, and this, and this. Today, we're supercharging the Shark Tanks, the Pizza Cupcakes packaging from this to this. If you're a startup, having an MVP is key. In case you're not sure what it is, MVP is a minimal viable product. But today, P stands for
packaging. So much packaging.
Turn that key and make this packaging a contender. Grocery aisle is not a fashion show. It's a war zone. And to win in the freezer section, you need a warrior like this.
This is Sparta!
All right, so let's look at the Pizza Cupcakes packaging. It's red and white. It's got a lot of words, but nothing that makes me want to eat it. So first things first, decide what we're going to keep and what we're going to let burn in the oven. So the logo, we're going to keep it. The photo, we're keeping it. Shark Tank, it's important, but it's not the star. The flavor, yep. Tagline, needs work. Second tagline, who puts multiple taglines on the same panel? Real mozzarella, does that mean that the rest of the ingredients are fake? Mascot, I haven't decided if he lives or dies.
If he dies, he dies.
Now that we've eliminated everything that doesn't support our single message approach, we've got something to work with. We're going to bounce back between Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator, and then finally end up with Packdoor.com for 3D work and templates. Now that we know what we're keeping, let's recreate this logo and make a few key improvements before we address hierarchy. Using Photoshop Beta, I'm going to finish off the T before I recreate it in Illustrator. We're going to go ahead and cut out this section, eliminate the red background, give it a black color, and then bring that into Illustrator. All right, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it into Illustrator. I'm going to trace it. I'm going to chop it up and make these into individual letters. I'm going to separate these to break up the crowding. The current logo is a little bit hard to read, even though you know what it says. There's not enough white space to give the letter forms breathing room. Okay, now that it's all separated, you can move things around. Next, we're going to crop out this product photo with a little Photoshop magic. We're going to add a little bit of shadow, and then we're going to save it as a PNG. That's going to give our transparency so we can drop it into the packaging, no matter what the background is. All right, let's recreate this mascot. I can do the same as the photo, but the image isn't the greatest quality, so it's pretty easy to recreate. Let's do it in Illustrator. Using the pen tool, I'm going to go ahead and trace that outside shape. I'm zooming in, twisting this guy up so I can get a nice ellipse shape to happen here and be able to duplicate that little red shadow. Then also just the cheese, that white area, make it super cheesy and white. We're going to go ahead and put in these little basil or oregano leaves in here. Eyeballs are super fast. We're going to go ahead and duplicate those. And then just this little smile, right? Again, just tracing it, thinking of that line, and we're pretty much ready to go here. Dropping a little white area back there, and then we're set. All right, so now that all the main elements are done, look, we're going to get to the copywriting. And the first thing I hear every packaging designer say is, I'm a packaging designer, not a copywriter. You've got to be able to write copy, especially when you're doing packaging, because your customers are always going to give you way too much copy, and you can either shove it in there and ruin your design, or come back to them with an intelligent way to reduce the amount of copy and really get to the point. That's what we're going to do here. All right, so let's look at these taglines. The Pizza Cupcake, the secret dough you'll love. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and just take this copy. We're going to start typing it out, and we're going to start breaking it down as quickly as possible. All right, so let's go ahead and type this out. The secret dough you'll love. All right, let's get rid of the, and we'll get rid of you'll. So we got something a little bit smaller. Dough you'll love our dough. That's really what we're trying to say. So let's cut it down to that. Now, font-wise, we want something that's heavy and something easy to read. This is great. Let's go ahead and type this thing out. Flaky, buttery, doughy, and irresistible. That's way too much to type. Way too much to read. Let's cut it down. Flaky, buttery, deliciously flaky, buttery crust. All right, so let's go ahead and turn this copy into outlines. Go ahead and round those corners so that it matches the text. You can see here when we get close up how well those two pair together. All right, so now that we kind of have an idea of what the size is, we're going to go ahead and break this thing up into thirds or fifths. I like to go with fifths. So just making 5 quick boxes, I can start laying out where the image is going to go. I like a big logo in this instance so that people can read what it is. It's a new product. They don't know what it is. So let's throw some stuff in here. You see how quickly we're just kind of moving stuff around. It allows you to just play and explore. We're kind of moving some edges here. It's taking the existing pack and making a couple of changes. That white edge almost looks like a table edge. Could be kind of cool. It's just hard to figure out where to put those. Now there's going to be 6 in here. So if we make 6 products, that last one's a little hard to see. We're going to go ahead and copy that, paste that over, and make a new one. Now let's make a bigger logo and see what happens. I kind of like this black. Right, as we're moving it around, just start thinking like, where else could I add some color? What can I get this to stand out? How can I get it to really shine through that glass? start a whole new one. Let's go ahead and break up this text. Let's focus on cupcake because that's what we're selling, right? We're selling a cupcake. It's a pizza cupcake, but let's make this big. Make that pizza large. We'll go ahead and scale the down because nobody cares about the. It's not like it's a movie. I like this red. This is going to work out really well. Now, where are we going with that product? We place that image over the top of it. It looks really nice because that shadow kind of overlays the text. If we move these around, let's get a little bit more space. Make CU a little bit larger so that it kind of fills the gap a little better. This is starting to feel pretty cool. I do like this. Dropping something behind that product gives it a little bit more dimension and brings it a little bit forward. This little icon is going to kill, it's kind of cute. It's growing on me. It looks kind of nice, like just as like a little accent. It's not the main focus here. And what's great here is that you can go back and forth to the different concept. You can add a few different things in here, adding this little script text. It almost feels like a little bit of a menu. It doesn't quite fit the way it was before. So start moving things around. What's great about working this way is that you have 3 different concepts to work from. And just because it's one of the concepts doesn't mean it's set in stone. You can move things around. That's how you evolve the design to land at a point where you get to a functional design that you can present to a client. I'm starting to see some little spots here that we can start moving things around. Looks like we can get that pizza cupcake really large in this orientation. Again, nobody cares about it's not a movie. It's not the pizza cupcake. It's a pizza cupcake. It's 6 pizza cupcakes in this box. Just happens to be part of the name. I don't love it. Let's get some color in here. Let's get a little bit of green, red. These colors help food stand out. Especially on a white background. So having that big, bold pizza cupcake in red, it looks pretty great. Let's swap this tag for the black one, and then let's get started with flavor. Get a big, heavy font for the tagline. Let's use something that's thinner and condensed for the flavor. This one looks good. It's got a rounded edge to it. Now let's put a little color behind it. And because everything here is rounded, pizza's round, the cupcakes are round, it softens up these like hard edges, and it gives you this pillowy, doughy feel. Let's use that same typeface for the weights and measures. Let's bring that down. We don't have to use the same size. So let's scale that down just a little bit. Make that 6 cupcakes bold. Now let's get started on the top and the side panel of this because we're going to present a 3/4 view of the packaging just like the photo in the example of the Pizza Cupcake's original packaging. All right, so dragging the product up there. We want to have that product on all sides as much as possible. Pizza Cupcake, that doesn't quite fit as well as I'd like it to, but I think if we go white, get that to fit better in that rectangular shape. Flavor, we got to have flavor on all sides as well. Let's round off these corners. Now we've got this new Pizza Cupcake logo that's on the sides, and product. Product is important to have on all sides. Make sure people see it so they know what it is. And of course, flavor. Now, what else do we need to add in here? Let's move some stuff around. All right, so let's play around with this. Let's move this product around a little bit. And if you got to have 2 taglines, you may as well create a spot for it. Fits nicely right here. Let's make that red and make the logo as big as possible. All right, now we got to add the Shark Tank information. Shark Tank's not the main star. It plays a secondary role. We're going to go ahead and make that just a darker green so it doesn't draw too much attention away from the logo and the product. We're not selling Shark Tank. We're selling pizza cupcakes. All right, so now we've got 3 panels. Let's drag this into packdoor.com. You can see here all the different types of packaging they've got. Let's find a box that's similar to what they're using. All right, give it a spin. Let's put in the dimensions of this pack, and then let's go ahead and position it in a 3/4 view, similar to the original packaging. Now we'll just upload the different panels and position them in the die line. Try to align this as best you can, and boom, super easy. You can spin this around, reposition it. You can even adjust the lighting. Look at that, so you can put it anywhere you want. They've got scenarios for different types of presentations. I like 3 or 5 different components in a presentation. And by having them different sizes, makes them a little bit more dynamic. All right, so boom, now you can take this image, you can put it in Photoshop, put it in your presentation, or whatever you want to do with this. It's ready to go. It's portfolio ready. We've taken this generic store brand packaging to a box that's ready to compete in your grocer's freezer. Let me know in the comments which of these pizza boxes you'd buy. Now, if you want to learn more about how the pros use data to design food packaging, check out this video here with Design Analytics.